All right, meantime, the Pentagon set to give an update on Operation Epic Fury about 8 o'clock Eastern time after confirming our troops have boarded a second tanker carrying Iranian oil. At least 33 vessels have been forced to turn around in the Strait, with a third U.S. aircraft carrier arriving to help with the mission.
And here to discuss is Texas Congressman and U.S. Army veteran Wesley Hunt. Thank you so much, Congressman, for coming.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Great to see you. Great to see you,
brother. Always. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good to see you as
so
always,
much.
man. Welcome to
So, with your military experience, I wanted to ask you about a third U.S. carrier has been sent, sending a message, obviously.
Yes.
What does this mean?
We have a president who is a very serious man. He takes the defense of this great nation and the defense of us and our allies very, very seriously. No, we are not going to send Iran pallets of cash. No, we are not going to draw a red line and allow you to offend that red line. When you cross the red line, there is going to be consequences and repercussions. And so the strength that we are seeing right now is what is going to provide peace for us in the not-so-distant future. We have to hold tight and trust the process. President Trump is the peace president. The first time he was president, we had world peace. And every now and again, we have to show our might and show our strength to have peace for the future, and we are seeing that on full display. And as somebody who's a West Point graduate, somebody that served in combat, somebody that served in Baghdad, I'm here to tell you that we are ready for the fight. But again, this is an issue of peace through strength, so we can continue to deter Iran's terror, not just on us, not on our allies, but on the entire world.
So, Congressman, it seems that we're at an impasse right now. So the president wants to make a deal. He's dealing with radical Islamic terrorists right now, but they can't get their act together. They don't know who their leader is right now. You got the ROGC with all the weapons, and then you got the political leadership.
Yes.
At what point does the president have to make a decision to get back to the battlefield?
Well, at the end of the day, we leave that to the people that are making these decisions over at the Pentagon, but we also trust the fact that President Trump is in full control of this situation. He understands the complexities of what we are dealing with every single day. And what's happening in Iran is something that impacts not just the region, but it also impacts the entire world. We have to be very careful with how we move forward in the language that we use as well, and trust that President Trump is going to be the strong man, the strong president that other countries are going to respect, because, again, America is back. If you want to cross this line, you're going to pay the consequences.
So if we look at support for the war right now, Fox just did a poll. Currently, U.S. military action actually ticked up in support. It's now at 45%. Those who are up 3% since March. Opposing is about 55%, down 3% since March. And we're in a prolonged now 12 or 13-day ceasefire. Back in the 80s, I know you're an Army guy, but back in the 80s, we were escorting ships. We got involved to make sure the Mosquito Navy of basically Boston whalers that are loaded with bombs can't board ships and take it back. We can blockade, but should we go back and grab the Strait? Could that be an intermediate move as we consider whether to end the ceasefire?
Well, this is the gasping cries of a dying animal. This is all Iran has at this point. We have completely destroyed their forces. We've completely destroyed their navy. And the only thing that they can do right now is obstruct what's happening at the Strait of Hormuz, because they want to disrupt what's happening globally. We cannot lose focus on what must be done. We have to finish them off right now. What happened a year ago with Operation Fury kind of reminds me of what's happening at my house right now. I'm actually getting some work done. I'm getting a paint job done on my house. And eventually, you have the contractors come in, they paint the house, and then you have to go back and spot check it right afterward. And sometimes that spot check might take a little bit longer, but we have to finish the job. We are now in the spot check phase of this, and I can assure you, if we finish this thing strong, it's going to look just fine in the end.
Right, because you got 6 months to the midterms, a lot of times for people to digest.
And keep in mind, tranquilo, por favor. I mean, it's only been a few months here. Everybody is talking about this being a prolonged war. That's not what this is.
We got to go, but you ran for Senate. You got out of the race. Are you going to endorse any of the candidates in the runoff?
As of right now, I am not. I am following the lead of the president. I would like for people to know that the president has not endorsed in this race. The governor has not endorsed in this race. The lieutenant governor has not endorsed in this race. Ted Cruz has not endorsed in this race. So I think, as you said it earlier, Texans get to pick their leadership. It's the reason why I ran. The reason why I ran was to give the people of Texas an option. They went a different direction, and I want to thank the 300,000 people that did vote for me. What an honor.
But
But at the end of the day, you will decide.
I hope you join the administration because you're an asset.
It would be an honor
But
to
you're
continue
not
to
going to
help
vote for
President
James
Trump.
Tallarico.
No, ma'am. I will not be voting for James Tallarico.
All right. Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Thanks
Thank you
for
for having me.
you.
God bless you. Thank you very much.
All right.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.